So, once again, welcome to Chat Made Me Watch This Reviews, where today, Jack and Jill, an Adam Sandler comedy from at least 10 years ago, I think. I didn't look at the date this was made. It's easily a decade ago. Around the same time he made Just Go With It, which is actually one I do. I own that one. I actually like that one. I have a few Adam Sandler movies on my shelf. That's one of them. Because it's about the same time when he did Just Go With It. And this movie has a certain reputation, and it's well-deserved. This movie is garbage. It's terrible. It has a couple of laugh-out-loud moments, and it's because, one, Adam Sandler is funny, and a joke is going to land eventually. But it also required him bringing in his friends, which he always does in his movies, brings in his friends from SNL back in the day when it was funny to do stuff, because there's a Norm Macdonald cameo, R.I.P. Norm, David Spade in full prosthetic drag at the end of it, and a couple others stooped in there, which they get some funny moments. But overall, this movie is just ridiculously bad. Here's the thing. This movie is about twins, Jack and Jill. And how essentially they couldn't be more complete. The whole thing is, are twins the same or different? And they couldn't be more different. Where he is grounded, serious, she is over the top and crazy insane, and has mega strength apparently. She apparently has mega strength, but he doesn't, which doesn't make sense to me considering they're genetically the same. How does she have mega strength but he doesn't? Anyway, it's obviously Adam Sandler and drag playing both characters. What happens is it's both Thanksgiving. Does this count as a Thanksgiving movie? I know there aren't a lot of Thanksgiving movies. Would this count as a Thanksgiving movie because it happens on Thanksgiving? We're gonna have that discussion. Anyway, happens on Thanksgiving. He doesn't want to bring his sister out because she's also, not only is she over the top and annoying, she's very clingy to him and obnoxious and doesn't shut the fuck up. But she's coming out to visit his family, and his family consisting of Katie Holmes. Once again, Adam Sandler and his track record of My Movie Wives or something like that. His real wife is also smoking hot. You see her at the beginning of Just Go With It. She plays his fiance who cheats on him. His real wife is hot. But he also continues the trend of, I'm going to get the hottest chicks in Hollywood from this era, and they're going to be my hot wives. Let's go down the list. I can't remember all their names, but go through all his early movies. All hot chicks. Salma Hayek, Jennifer Aniston, now Katie Holmes in this one too, Kate Beckinsale. Adam Sandler knows what he's doing. I'm going to get all these hot chicks to be my wives in these movies because I know people just want to touch themselves to her, or all of these girls. They just want them. I mean, that's brilliant. Adam Sandler's good. He's good marketing at what he does. I enjoy Adam Sandler. I'm going to shit all over this movie, but I like Adam Sandler. Anyway, so he's got Katie Holmes for a wife. They've got a biological daughter, and they got an adopted Indian son. There's a lot of racist jokes in this movie, both Jewish jokes and Indian jokes, and it's funny because Adam Sandler leans into it. Good, make the jokes. It's fine. I have no problem with it. It's all fair game. It's even distribution of cultural jokes, so I'm fine with it. But anyway, so because there's a line, and apparently Katie Holmes' character, his wife, converted to Judaism, and that's a running gag for a little bit in the early part of the movie. Anyway, so she's coming to Thanksgiving. He doesn't want her to be there. At the same time, there's an A plot and a B plot to this movie, and it gets lost in one montage or a forced comedy scene after another. The A plot. Adam Sandler has an advertising company. He runs an advertising company, which includes a lot of big name companies, their biggest one being Dunkin' Donuts. Yes, this is the movie with the Dunkachino with Al Pacino. And Dunkin' Donuts wants Al Pacino. And he's worried how he's going to get Al Pacino. They're ready to walk. So that's the main thing, getting Al Pacino to do the ad for Dunkin' Donuts, Dunkachino. At the same time, the second plot is his relationship with his twin sister, who's obnoxious and has a miserable life because their mother is dead. She's all alone. She's always been the butt of every joke. And she's generally an obnoxious person. And also a Luddite, a massive Luddite. Doesn't know the internet, doesn't know modern technology of the time, this and that. And she comes there, and she just is a disaster on wheels, always being obnoxious. I mean, like I said, there are some funny stuff in here that related. It's all related to Jill. It's Adam Sandler being disgusting as his female version of himself. She leaves giant sweat stains on the sheets that are just disgusting. At one point, Al Pacino smells it when he goes in. We'll get into Al Pacino in a second. Another point, after she goes and visits her eventual Mexican boyfriend, she goes to this giant family party and eats Mexican food, and then she comes back to the house, and there's like a 5-minute long poop gag, which of course had me laughing because much to go against the grain of some people, fart and shit jokes are funny. They're funny. If you don't laugh at it, you have no soul. I'm sorry. If you're not laughing at poop and fart jokes, you have no soul. They're funny. You're always going to laugh. So there's they're having a conversation and she's in the bathroom just letting these giant shit farts go. And I'm laughing my ass off at that. And then she comes out with the door without lighting a match and it stinks and he's opening doors. And so that was funny. And it's it's all Jill related. It's not, Jack is not the humor focus. Jill is the humor focus. So there are laugh out loud moments, as I said. So it's all about their adventures of, she keeps wanting to stay longer. He doesn't want her to stay. But his wife wants them to have a better relationship. And they go through this whole thing of trying to get her to date people. And they do online dating. And that's where like the Norm Macdonald bit comes in, because he goes to Craigslist and Norm is a sex pest. And it's really subtle Norm stuff too. It's only a little bit of Norm. It's very subtle, but it's still funny because it's Norm Macdonald and he can just look at you and make you laugh. At the same time, when he's trying to get Al Pacino to do the ad, Al Pacino's had a public meltdown on stage over cell phone usage during a play. So he's kind of trying to retreat from public. And when he goes to corner him at a Lakers game, which also has a Johnny Depp cameo, which shows you when this was made. Well, of course, Adam Sandler wouldn't have cared that Johnny Depp had been blacklisted. He would have probably had him on movie either way, because Adam Sandler doesn't give a shit. Al Pacino then sees Jill and falls instantly and madly in love with her. And we have this entire C-plot of Al Pacino trying to woo Jill while Jack tries to get him to join up and do the Dunkin' Donuts ad. And I know there are some stories out there about how this role kind of crushed Al Pacino's soul a little bit. I didn't want to get into that because I didn't want that to influence the review, but you go look at it, it's funny that Dunkin' and all the stuff but he really leaned into this as just being super creepy, weird, obsessive. And it's Al Pacino chewing scenery, and it's not bad, but it's also massively cringe throughout the whole movie. So he keeps trying to woo Jill, and she's rejecting him because she's not into it. She's more into Jack's Mexican gardener, eventually. And at one point, she kept pushing to stay longer and longer, and they were going on this New Year's cruise after Hanukkah, and they go on this cruise, and Jack takes her only because he wants to keep using his sister to try and get Al Pacino. And eventually everything comes to a head where, predictably, Jack has to dress up as Jill to go and try and get Al Pacino to do Jack's ad. And during that, you have the come to Yahweh moment, because you can't say come to Jesus moment because these are Jews. Come to Yahweh moment, where after Jack and Al have these real deep conversations, and Al admits, I like your sister because I see something broken in her and I want to fix it because we come from the same place, being the Bronx and that kind of stuff. And then Al Pacino basically says, you can't ignore relationships. And Jack, as Jill says, what about my brother? He says, oh, well, he's a deathbed kind of thing. He's not going to realize that he loves her until she's gone. And that's when Jack realizes, oh, I've been a terrible brother. I used her and everybody's mad at me for using her. I now have to rush back to do this and to make amends before she leaves. The problem is she'd already left for New York. I mean, they had their birthday celebration, all this kind of stuff. She already left for New York. And then it's all about going to New York, and it ends in this big scene at this restaurant where she goes to have a private in the restaurant. It's just like a picture of her mom, and it's really sad. But then you hit their old high school bullies are there, and one of them, like I said, is David Spade in full drag with like prosthetic tits and everything. He's in a full bodysuit with prosthetic tits. It took me a minute to realize, holy shit, that's David Spade in drag. Like, I recognize this person. It's definitely a dude. I can't tell who it is, and I realized, oh shit, it's Spade. Because they made a Rob Schneider joke. Because Rob Schneider wasn't in this movie, which is funny. Rob Schneider's usually in every Adam Sandler movie. He wasn't in this movie. And he didn't go, you can do it! At one point. He wasn't there to do that. But at one point, then Jack and the family show up, and they say, we love you, Jill. And then they talk in their twin language. And then David Spade's character throws sass at them, and they get in a fight, and Jill kicks her ass. And then everybody's happy in it together, and Jill's gonna get along with the Mexican guy. They're gonna get together. It's a happy ending, yay. But overall, it's a sloppy movie from beginning to end. And Al Pacino shows up in his Man of La Mancha, or is it Don Quixote? Well, that is Man of La Mancha, isn't it? Yeah. Shows up in his Don Quixote outfit to just be there again. It's absurd. But overall, this movie should be, honestly, 40 minutes shorter. Cut out a lot of these montage, forced comedy moments. Cut down on half the plots. A lot of it just isn't funny, plain and simple. It's boring. It drags. You can only watch Adam Sandler drag for so long before it's annoying. It's sort of amusing in the beginning, but then you realize, wow, I wish they just had another woman. But of course, then you can't have him dress up as drag later in the movie to pretend to be her. It doesn't work like that. And it's frustrating. It's a frustrating movie because I can see where it could have really been a gem in there, because Adam Sandler has comedic talent. He can write good movies, but this one just got lost in making Jill over obnoxious and too much. And it's just boring at times, really boring, because I'm not connecting with any of this at all. But like I said, there are funny moments. The Norm Macdonald is funny. At one point, there's a semi-cameo from Shaq doing a commercial for their ad agency, and it's just a recording of Shaq, and it's very funny, because Shaq is funny. Shaq is always funny. Never tell me Shaq ain't funny. That's funny. Like I said, the poop jokes, the fart jokes are funny. They're in a movie theater, and they both let out massive farts at the same time. That's funny. They had the little Indian kid is sort of amusing, because he's always kind of catching Jack doing some sketchy shit to his sister, and he's very calling him out on it. And also they have a weird thing. The Indian kid has a weird thing about taping things to himself. It's very weird, and it's not funny. At the same time, there's no connection to these characters. Honestly, I'm not rooting for any of them. I'm not rooting for them to get the Dunkachino thing done, because while I don't hate Jack, I actually feel for him because his sister is obnoxious and annoying. I just don't care. I'm not engaged at all with these characters. I don't connect to them. Adam, they're Jewish. You connect to them. No, that's not enough. It doesn't work like that. So it's just, there's nothing fun really about this movie. It just isn't, to me, fun. And of course, then the finale is after. Of course, I was wrong. I forgot. The finale is actually the Dunkachino scene, and that's just god awful. And it ends with Al Pacino saying, "We need to delete all of this. We need to destroy it all." Because yes, it is. It's speaking truth that everybody knows how bad that was. It's terrible. The Dunkachino. Good Lord. So I don't know what else I could say of this. I do not recommend this movie at all. It's not fun. It's terrible. When he's Jill, Adam Sandler is obnoxious. The thing about Jack works because he's doing the same kind of humor he does in Just Go With It. Very quick one-liners, very toned down Adam Sandler, not over the top. It's very cool comedy. And when I say cool, I'm like hypocritical. I mean very mellow type of comedy as Jack, and it works. Adam Sandler's actually very good in it. That's one of the reasons I like Just Go With It. I like his tone of comedy in that one, where it's just a little sarcasm here or there, a little quip back and forth, some good really one-liners in there. But the over-the-top comedy as Jill, the slapstick stuff of it, it's too much. And it falls flat. And it's Adam Sandler leaning too much into the stereotypes, and it's just not funny. So, Jack and Jill, it's a horrible movie, but there it is. Another chat, maybe watch this reviews. I have to run away from this far away now. There we go. All right, done with that one. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.